And welcome back to Pure Nebraska. We are live here at Husker Harvest Days, Day 2, and we, on Wednesdays, like to put the Farm Women's Group Common Ground in the spotlight.
And the volunteer that we have with us today is a very busy person. She's a radio personality and a mom, and you're trying to balance so many things. I know how that is. Common Ground volunteer Susan Littlefield, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. You got the right idea with the baseball cap. I'm sitting here thinking as I should have grabbed one before I left my booth.
I know it. It does help because it is kind of windy out here, but really, have you been having fun?
It has been amazing. I love Husker Harvest Days. It's a time to kind of sit down on our porch step and talk to producers. And I think when we sit down and we don't have a microphone in our hand initially, they're pretty open about what the crops look like, how they're feeling of optimism or lack thereof at this point. And they like to share their stories, and it's fun. And then it kind of turns into interviews sometimes after that.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your background. It's your 20th wedding anniversary today, right?
It is today. 20 years that my husband Michael and I have been married, so it's gone fast.
Yeah, and he's not here today. He's shearing sheep.
He's shearing sheep today, so he'll be keeping busy.
Busy life on the farm, busy as a mom. So take us through your life a little bit.
Well, we've got 3 kids. We've got a sophomore, an 8th grader, and a 5th grader. They all go to school in Columbus, and all are involved within agriculture in one aspect or another within our farm. I'm the farm broadcaster at KZEN out of Columbus. I've been there for 17 years, and it's just, I live the life that I get to talk about on the radio. Though the only crop we grow is alfalfa, we do raise livestock, so I get a little bit of the experience when lack of rain and when we get too much rain and we lose a crop. So it's fun, and I really truly enjoy it because it's that kindred spirit, especially when you get together with a group of moms that maybe don't have the farm experience because they want to know more about it, because they want to know where their food comes from, but they want to know, how can my kids get involved and be able to experience what your kids are experiencing?
Absolutely. And Susan, why is it important to get kids involved in agriculture?
Well, I think they need to know where their food comes from, more than just going to the grocery store and grabbing that yogurt off the shelf. I always love when I see that orange juice commercial and the mom is reaching for the orange juice container and there's a farmer on the other end handing it to her. Because I think that really gives realization to the families that where their food comes from. And I think getting your kids involved and letting them experience firsthand. Maybe, you talked about the Pick a Pig program.
4-H.
For 4-H. Maybe it's being able to get a bucket calf from a farmer and be able to show it even though you live in the city. It gives them the experience to say, hey, I helped raise something that's going to be on somebody's table to help feed not only their family, but in many aspects maybe help something that's going to feed the world.
And little things too. I mean, if you live in an urban area, just having a backyard garden and having kids get their hands dirty.
Very much so. We've done with our kids a pizza garden. We've done, and then of course we've got the hogs in the barn, so that kind of helps bring the pizza garden together. Yeah. But letting the kids plant something that they want to try, something that maybe they've never had the opportunity. We tried eggplant this year. Our kids had never had eggplant.
How'd it go?
I loved it. The kids, it was okay, but I mean, it takes a couple times for them to try things, and I think letting them have that firsthand experience really does help because they take the ownership in it. And when you put the dinner on the table, it's like, hey, I had something to do with that.
They understand the work that's involved, too.
They do, and they understand, even though it's on a very small scale, they understand, and they can go to their classrooms and say, hey, guess what I got to do today, or last night? I got to go help pick peas, and we ate them at dinner, or I helped bring food to a neighbor. And I think that's the exciting part. We participate in a program where we're extra fruits and vegetables, and my son, who's 10, got to help bring a basket full to a woman, and she was just so excited because she didn't have any fresh vegetables growing in her garden. So it gave him a sense of pride as well to say, hey, I was able to, even though I was just the delivery man, I still got to help out there.
That's awesome.
Well, Susan, thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, have fun today. And
I will.
Okay.
Maybe go out to eat with your husband if you can tonight, right?
No, I'll still be here through tomorrow, so maybe next weekend.
All right. Thanks.